Live. So, alright, we're clicking the button. We are live! Welcome, guys! Welcome to Dan and Kyle to Hollywood. It has been a crazy day. Let's get guild chat off there.
I promise we almost had Zoom working.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. Though this was we did testing last night, but apparently it's a little less than needed currently.
Yeah, we also on the technical end, not my end. There are two reasons we struggled to get started on time. Ha ha ha! Heinzie, don't use all caps.
But yeah, please don't use all
caps. Nightbot is stupid and will time you out.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought I removed that. My bad.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, Heinzie. I still got to tinker with the settings on that. My bad.
Nightbot is a snowflake.
Yeah, he gets very upset if you yell at us. So
on the bright side, since we aren't using Zoom, I can drink.
Yeah, that's true. Yummy.
Yeah, so super informal opening, guys, because it's the prep for today's been a complete train wreck. So it's going to be fun to see how this goes tonight.
Yes.
Nice try, Mike. Nightbot caught you too.
Oh, thank you, Gmail. It just told me I'm live. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you. I hadn't noticed.
Plasma, I would. My name on Zoom said DPK's daddy. And my hair is redder than his, so it would have been really funny.
Yeah.
So don't worry, I was gonna make plenty of fun of him, but that doesn't work.
Anyway, hey Snuff. That's Snuffleupagus, I guess, from Gid. Let's just cry it to them.
Did DPK mute you? Is that spousal abuse?
No.
Is that a domestic?
No. Oh. I'm like, what? No. But yeah. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna go do some Galactic War. Who are we gonna take in today? Let's see. No, I don't want Bosk.
Taking Jawas.
What? Let's see. We'll do it.
Who cares if you lose? This Galactic War needs to take an hour, dude.
I'll put it on 1 speed. So, do we want Chief Nebbit as our lead, right?
I don't know who I'm gonna level with you. I don't know who the leaders are.
Well, it's either Dathcha or wait, what?
Also, while I was making fun of DPK for muting his wife, I actually server muted her, and I just unmuted her. So if she wants to, she can now talk.
Oh, well. Testing. Yeah, we can. Try leaving and coming back in. I guess Chief Nebbit is gonna do.
Oh, you know what this is? No, I know what this is. It's DPK sucks at Discord.
Oops. Oh no. Oh, hold on.
You don't have it, so they can talk.
I got it.
You need to edit her permissions. You need to edit the permissions so they can actually talk.
He needs to just make me an admin and
I
be
did
done
actually.
with it.
I mean, that sounds like a trap.
Whoops. No, I actually created you a role in Discord.
Fruit guy.
That you should.
I thought we fired you, Fruit guy. That's why you're not here.
I mean,
we replaced you with someone who looks way better to set the bar incredibly low.
So there we go. Okay, back to Max. To be honest, I have never used Java, so I'm just gonna put it on auto and wish for the best. Hope for the best.
All right.
All right.
So let's kick it off with news. We don't really need introductions.
Yeah,
We
I'm
have.
going to
you guys
enjoy
should
it
know
now
us by
and
now.
later.
Are you going to enjoy it later as well?
Yep, they're the green apple ones. I picked them all out and kept them for myself.
So,
All right.
quite a bit of news this week. Not as much as the previous weeks, but we got a little. Oh, one of my Jawas is already dead. Oh, this was probably a bad idea. That's a.
I didn't say it was a good idea. I said it had to last an hour.
But anyways, oh, my Jawas are dead.
So
Sorry,
we got
little
more
guys.
information on Relic.
A little more.
We got
not
some
a lot, but a little
got-
more.
They showed us what the little scavenger guy looks like. They showed us that we need to trade in gear. They told us that 1 through 3 would be accessible. And what did we learn from it? What did you take away from it?
Give me more money. I mean,
Yeah, I for one am excited because Marvel Strike Force really needed the Red Star system and everybody really wanted it, right? So I'm really glad they're not doing that to Swugga because everybody really wanted this
yeah.
and we needed this, right? Gear 13 was like a year and a half ago, right? We need a new gear tier.
Yeah, right. Well, if you mean a year and a half ago, and you actually mean like a week and a half ago, yes. Because let's be honest, I don't think any of really nobody was really ready. What, sweetie? Oh, hi. Kid pool. Oh, you're so sweet. Mwah.
Worth mentioning as well to those of you who use iOS legacy devices. They caught up to the Android guys about 3 months ago. They're coming for your ass now.
Yes.
So if you have an old Apple device,
Like
get
an
a new
iPod, iPhone or iPhone 3 or whatever, or was it 5? I don't know. Whatever.
It says iPhone 4S, iPad Mini 1st Gen, iPad 2nd Gen, iPad 3rd Gen, iPod 5th Gen are no longer being supported.
Wow.
So if you're playing on a device that is old, that is like more than 5 years old, 4 years old,
RIP.
go get a new one or quit playing Swugga. Which the latter is probably not the worst idea currently, and we'll get to that later.
Yes. But so we got a little more information on the relics, which is actually nice. It's still like Dagger was saying, it's basically red stars. I do agree that it might be a little too soon since they just pushed out the. Okay, hold on. Since they just pushed out, Gear 13, literally it's been 2 months?
July.
So yeah, 2 months.
It was after the first TB, and I thought the first TB was like the last week of June. I could have my times wrong, but it was like the very, very end of June.
No, that sounds about right.
But we
actually.
didn't. I think we got the packs, the Gear 13 packs, like right around 4th of July.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is right. Yeah, it was 4th of July.
So,
good. Yes. So it's been just about 2 months, because I think if I'm not mistaken, the actual announcement of Gear 13 was a week before the packs, if I'm remembering correctly. Which I could be wrong. I have been wrong. I'm not perfect.
And since we also kind of talk about what we worked on this week, I'll kind of by proxy, because we fired him and he's not here. Fruit Guy is now Darth Revan ready.
Yay!
So congratulations to him on that.
Yes.
Part of the reason for the technical problems we've been having today is that we did fire Fruit Guy. So
Yeah, we
Fired
fired
your
him.
guy.
We fired him so he could and told him to go spend some time with his wife.
Well, I didn't tell him to go spend time with his wife. I just told him he was fired. Was I supposed to
Oh,
tell
okay.
him it?
Well, I mean,
I
figured that's why we were firing him.
No, we fired him because we wanted a sexier assistant.
Someone that had good giggles and a nice voice.
Well, Fruit Guy does have a pretty feminine voice, so I think that
Oh, wow.
I don't think we improved
Oh,
that all
wow.
that much. But the giggles are definitely an upgrade.
I'm glad it could be of service, I guess.
Yay!
Yeah, not touching that one. This year is supposed to be PG.
Yeah, let's stay on topic.
All right.
So, as you can see, since it just procced on screen, we have Kairos in our daily rewards, in our quote-unquote box. So, that's worth mentioning.
I'm upset that free-to-play players don't have to buy them now.
Oh, sorry, Free Guy. Apparently that was supposed to be private. Oops.
Which part was supposed to be private? The part that you have a feminine voice or the part that you were fired?
Why not both?
I wouldn't have said that last part. I would have said read instead of that word in between. But, yeah. So they also, something that actually made me happy was they moved the gear you get from 1 piece to 5 pieces.
Which is, well, I think that it was. I thought it was 3 pieces to 5 pieces, but anyways, it's an upgrade.
Well, you used to get 1 or 2, and now you get like 5.
Yeah.
So I got 5 cuffs last night, and I was super pumped.
I mean,
right?
Like. So Ian,
they also
why
added.
Is the game depressing? I mean,
why are you so pale?
Yeah. Why are you so young? It
To
just
Ian,
is.
not to you. I'll answer your question with a question.
So,
but no, in all seriousness, though, they also added another tier to the Crystal Rewards, up to 250. Which kind of means that they tempered off the percentages. So they tinkered with the percentages. So my assumption, and I could be wrong here, my assumption is that they reduced the chances of getting 5 and increased like the chances of getting like 10 to add a higher tier, right? To give you more RNG at a higher tier. So I would assume that they reduced the very lowest chance, which was the 5 crystals. So on average, I think you'll be able to get more crystals as well as more gear, and now the Chirotech, which I'm still getting used to calling them Chirotechs, because I called them Cryotechs for like 5 months.
I mean, cryo, it's all the same, right?
Apparently not. I keep getting corrected.
Oh, wow. I mean...
People also might just hate me, so...
It is most definitely not the same.
I mean, the farming rate might make you cry, so cryotechs are not a bad option. See, exactly. Like Toyota said, they do make people cry, so who cares, right?
One thing that popped into my head when I saw the calendar, since we're still in the news and notes part, is I think it's cool that they're running legendaries side by side. I think Darth Revan and Yoda are out at the same time, the same week. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we have Darth Revan running at the same time as a legendary, which is, I think, kind of cool. Because, like, CLS runs with R2 and JTR runs with BB-8. I'm not saying that Revan or Yoda have anything in common, but I like the fact that we're starting to condense the weeks as opposed to have something going on every single week. It also allows them to put new content out and still keep the cadence, like 3 months for legendaries. Because the more legendaries they add, the more the longer we'll have in between if they do 1 a week.
Right.
So I like that they're starting to condense them a little more, putting the Falcon with Chewbacca.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
that's really big.
I just think that's cool. It. Anyways, what are do you have any thoughts on that? That was just like a thing I picked out.
I mean, so it's what were you talking about again?
They're running.
Excuse
They're running.
DPK, he is having a squirrel moment.
I am.
Yes, they are running. They are running.
Oh yeah, right. Sorry.
They're running Yoda, and they're starting to combine more legendaries and Hero's Journey. It's the same week.
Right. So I actually like that because obviously JTR always ran with BB-8, R2 with CLS. Now they're doing Han with what's his face or not Han.
Chewbacca.
That
Chewbacca
person.
with the Falcon.
Yeah, that one. So I like you said, I still don't quite get the relevance to having Yoda and Darth Revan at the same time.
I think the connection is that Yoda's an early game legendary and Darth Revan's an end game journey.
Yeah.
Right. So you give something again. They might not even put this much thought into it. I might just be grasping at straws, but like that was one of the thoughts I had was that Yoda is an early game legendary that people unlock reasonably early in the game, and Darth Revan is like out of the pillar system. Like that's how end game this asshole is.
Yeah.
Right? It's all hard nodes and gear.
Which I think even Warrior addressed why he hasn't actually put Darth Revan in the pillar system yet. Obviously, he needs to revamp it.
Was it because he made the pillar system before Darth Revan was out?
Well, that and but no, that CG.
Guys, can I bring this up? Rayrock actually just said something that's interesting. That CG is making it harder for newer players to do the events by not spacing them. What's your opinions on this?
I don't think that matters.
So I'm going to disagree a little bit on that. Yes, it is a little bit of a resource drain, but as of probably the last year, but they've put in a lot of catch-up mechanics. So, and what I'm talking about is, so I know people that are that have been playing for like 6 months that are getting Jedi Revan after 6 months. So you get one OP character 6 months into the game, as long as you can get the cadence. Uh-oh. What's wrong?
Mommy yelled at the kiddo for not laying down, so she went crying to you.
So basically, the reason I say it doesn't matter is that the legendaries are always going to be about 3 months apart.
Right.
And by combining them on the same week, as long as you don't go overboard and make 5 of them happen 1 week.
Right.
New players aren't even worried about Darth Revan happening, and in 3 months they're going to get Grandmaster Yoda and not be anywhere near Darth Revan, right? So I don't have a problem with it as long as the cadences stay about every 3 months for the legendary character.
Yeah, exactly.
Right now, like DBK said, there's a ton of catch-up mechanics. When you first start the game, you have Geos for Fleet, which are like an absurd team.
Which if you're a starting player, putting those resources early on in Geos, so Geos are still a great meta, or great fleet, especially starting out. Yes, they are a little bit resource heavy, but they provide you a fleet that you can win and move up in fleet, and you also get probably one of the top 10 teams in the game right now.
Well,
arguably.
So here's another way to look at it too. When you first start the game, and if you start we'll just call it the optimal path of efficiency. You start with Phoenix, and then that transitions you into Emperor Palpatine and Bastila. Those are both 1 Zeta team. Right? You get your Bachelor team up and running. You get your Grandmaster Yoda. You get your Empire team that then becomes your Triumvirate team, which then needs more Zetas, etc. Basically, what they're doing is they're just leading you up to these heavier and heavier Zeta teams, and like almost all of these legendaries slot into low Zeta team. That's not always true, but when you're starting, like Chewbacca doesn't need a Zeta. Grandmaster Yoda doesn't need a Zeta. Thrawn doesn't need a Zeta. I mean, obviously some of them function way better with their Zetas, but it's not punishing the new players to not have all the Zetas.
Right. And to be honest, talking about Zetas, so you're getting a team out of the Geos. If you put your eggs in the proper basket, you're getting a team that can operate literally off at maximum efficiency 2 Zetas. That's not bad. That's you get a solid character, a solid team out of it. You're, obviously, endgame speaking, you're setting yourself up good for Genosha's territory battles.
I'd also be willing to argue, at least right now in the game, that there are no legendaries you should actually press. That might be a hot take, but I think another one of the reasons why I'm not too bothered about it for new players is I can't think of a single legendary that new players get severely punished for not having.
Yeah. That's very true.
Maybe the Falcon?
Yeah, that's
the Falcon might be the only one.
Yeah. I was going to say, that's probably the only one.
Maybe Grandmaster Yoda? But, like, Padme's, right, as the game sits right now, Padme's a good team, not a great team. Well, you know what I mean, not like Tier 1 meta.
Well, Padme team, to me, also has the potential to become a great team. I just think it might need a rework in the future to help it get to that point, though.
Possibly. I was just kind of pointing out that a lot of the legendaries in this game, you want the Journey character.
Right.
The Journey kit, well, except for JTR. JTR is kind of garbage. No offense to her.
So she's.
But the other three Journey characters, those are what define the game currently. Sure, some of them use legendary, but I just like the CLS team worked fine before Chewbacca. Chewbacca took it to a new level. C-3PO took it to another new level. So, anyways, that's kind of my take on it. I think, and Lady Poe kind of hit it on the head too, where it's just like the legendary burnout is real. But I mean, that's just...
Yeah, and that's one of the things I wanted to touch on later on during my part, so I'm waiting. I'm baiting my time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing too. They are planning to make the vets easier to farm. But at hey DPK, are you gonna get Lady Pool some water?
Thank you, Heinzie.
How do you feel about that, Lady Pool? No. Your daughter's like, no.
Almost a month later, and
the
I'm
answer
still
to that
catching
question is no. He's not going to get me some water.
But yeah, the other cool thing about the vets too is you don't have to gear them anymore because Finn can solo.
Yeah.
Can solo the event because there's only one node where you need Finn and the 2 vets, and it's a mini boss, right? So now Finn can just ramp his damage against, like, I think it's Phasma, and just, like, eventually kill her. And then the next phase, you get Stick Ray. So, I mean, Gear 10, Gear 11, Finn still solos the event. Or now solos the event. It didn't used to. But the new rework has allowed him to do a lot more heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So. That's another thing worth bringing up, I guess. And then kind of round out the news. It's Territory War week.
Yes. We love Territory War. Don't we, Dagger?
Even I will admit that I like territory war. I prefer territory wars over territory battles. Hands down.
Well, she can't be wrong,
Ish.
and I know better than to argue. Actually, one of these times I'm going to pick a fight with Lady Pool on YouTube just so DPK has a miserable night.
Oh, God.
Let's do it. Let's
I
do
hate
it.
you.
Let's do this. We will make it a roundtable thing and just go debating on it. We can do this. Let's do this.
It's okay, DPK. We hate you.
Apparently.
So, what are some tips and tricks you can give people for TW?
Don't wait till the last minute to place your damn defenses. So you're
Pay
so,
attention to your guild. Your guild will give you hints and notes on where they want things, and make sure to pay attention to those. They do help, and if you're picky about where you like to put your teams and like keep one, you want to keep one of your really good teams, talk to your guild about it and make sure they understand that, and see what else you can put in there instead.
Also, I think I think everyone who listens to this podcast or this stream is in a guild where an officer sets defenses. Please
banners.
listen to the instructions.
Sets banners. Yes. Yeah. Make sure you're using whether it be Line, Discord, or just making sure you're following your banners. For the love of all God, for the love of everything. If you have something that has blue gear, do not place it on Territory Wars. Unless
also,
that
just
is
another
all you
quick
have.
tip for everyone this goes for everyone, new players and old players. Possibly consider never putting something under Gear 11 on defense. Unless your guild's 80 million, but then you're not a real guild in CG's eyes, right? So basically, if you want to put something that's like below Gear 11 on defense, ask an officer. Because
sorry.
Because that's just a little. You don't want to give your opponent an easy win. You usually put walls down for specific reasons, whether you're baiting out counters and you're trying to drain a certain team to then brick wall them with another team there's several, like one of the strategies I've used before is like having your entire bottom line just all need JTR or like CLS as a counter, and that's like that can be a solid way to win. Is just overloading your opponent's ability to beat your defenses without using certain counters. Don't worry, we were getting there, Rayrock.
Oh, yeah.
Don't load it.
Yeah, I was literally about to bring up what Rayrock and Toyota said.
Don't jump the gun.
What Toyota said was make sure all your characters have all their mods.
Yes.
That too. Also, preloading turn meter is not a tip. Don't fucking do it.
Hey.
Yeah, don't do turn meter.
I get one. I get one. And it deserves it.
Yes.
That's not a tip. That's not a tip or a trick. Don't do it.
Yeah, no. If you do it, I will go take it on your ass.
If you do it and I figure out you did it.
Hi, Tits!
No, Tits, don't ask that.
Please, yeah.
Hi, Tits.
Okay, I guess for some of the newer...
Tits, do me a favor. Can you load a team for Dagger to clean up in Territory War tomorrow? Or next day, whatever?
Yes, it is Toyota. I was about to say it's officially PG-13 rated here. It is no longer PG.
For those of you who don't know what turn meter loading is, there is the ability to exit a battle or force close your app if you are losing. So generally what I tell people is, if you don't kill 2 people, like 2 of the 5 tunes on the other side, force quit or exit.
And make sure they're actually worth killing. That is also an important tip. Like, don't kill Sith Trooper and leave Malik, Dark Basti, HK, and Darth Revan alive. Because that's no bueno.
Yeah, airplane mode is your friend.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is. So.
I don't use airplane mode, but that's because I've gotten pretty good at like force closing the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also far too
Force
lazy.
closing is easier for me, so.
I'm also far too lazy to press extra buttons.
Yes, leave Malik's for Dagger.
No,
Yes.
no, don't do that. Don't do that. I can kill a couple.
I will make sure to remember that just to make sure I delete all the Malik Dagger. Just all of them.
For the
And I will
record,
tag him in Discord and be like, yo, Dagger, I left you one. Have at it.
that's my alt. My alt can't do crap against him.
Ooh, rip.
Yeah. Yeah, emulators are also really good. So if you play on an emulator, if you preload on an emulator, you should just quit the game.
That is probably true.
Just quit.
There's that little
Bye-bye.
there's that little X in the top right corner that you can just hit when you're about to lose.
Yeah, see this little arrow I have highlighted right now. This is your friend if you play an emulator.
Yeah, but DPK only does that during GA battles. That's why he lost.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
I mean,
he's doing Galactic War Plasma. It doesn't matter if he does that.
yeah, I mean, it would go to a blank screen, so it wouldn't be that fun for you guys because it takes like 5
How'd you do
minutes
in
to boot up.
How'd you do in GAC, DPK?
I went up one of the tiers leagues.
Yeah.
I won 2 out of 3. Second round, I did a little bit of testing. Guy placed his General Grievous on defense, double Zeta. The team I believe, had all their Zetas. So it was a little bit of an experimentation. I decided to try out the Bastila-led Jedi with Jedi Revan. It didn't work as well as I had planned. Didn't leave turn meter up, but I was able to go in and two-shot it. So I literally lost the match by 12 points. So, yeah. It happens.
Rip.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hey, I got Carbontes and more furnaces. I finally get more furnaces when I'm through Malik's furnaces. Or not furnaces, security scanners. I hate this game sometimes.
That's another thing. We talked about this. We talked about this before the technical and real life difficulty.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed that I gear 11 to my Malik so fast, like on day 1, because I still haven't used him in arena.
Rip.
I still don't use Malik in arena because gear 11 Malik means I wake up at numbers that I shouldn't wake up at after taking first.
Do we have any other points?
So, yeah, we're just leaving the full gear 13 team in, and we're gonna just let that fly until we can gear 13 Darth Malik. So, for all of you who are struggling to gear your Darth Malik, don't worry, you can still climb.
Yeah, I actually, speaking of Malik, I was able to get mine to gear 11 today, and yesterday, because of territory battles, I was able to get him to 6-star. So, yay!
Beautiful. Ladypool, did you participate in GAC this round?
I did participate in GAC this round.
How did you do?
How did you do?
Horrible. I did horrible. Mostly because I realized after I locked myself in that I forgot to remod a couple of things, change a couple of things, and then I was like, oh wait, crap. Too late. So it was bad. It was bad.
I went 2-1. I had technical issues on one of my battles that led to an unfortunate series of events. That being said, I'm not sure if I would have won my finals anyways because he was the first opponent I've ever had that outmodded.
Wow.
So I'm not 100% sure.
No, you gotta see it here.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, sweetie.
She can see you on the screen.
I considered saying something just to be funny, but I don't think Lady Pool would have found that funny.
Yeah.
um, nice Toyota. 5th without participating, solid. Yeah, it was excited to actually try to actually have like the hardest opponent I've ever had was my last round, and it got decided by the game crashing on the victory screen.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get a chance. So, man, it was super irritating because, like, okay, first of all, my opponent hit a 19-19 on me in Division 2. So I would have been hard pressed to beat that because he one-shot everything and averaged like almost 60 bandit. So,
Yikes.
yeah.
Did you report
It would
him?
have been tough. No, he didn't cheat.
It's
He
a
had,
joke. It's a joke.
oh, yeah. I'm not one of those people who reports people when I lose. No, we talked about it, and like he's like, oh, you took 3 teams on my Darth Revan. I'm like, yeah, because CLS crashed on the victory screen, and then Padme went in against preloaded team and took out everyone but Darth Revan and Malik. I needed a
Yeah.
3rd team to take out Darth Revan, and then a 4th team to take out Malik.
Actually,
And
so
it was just kind of a giant dumpster fire.
yeah, that happens. So actually, one of my guildies, Big Fat Merc. Shout out to my guildie from
That's not nice to call him fat.
1-800 Druidia in the Good as Dumb Alliance. So if you can't see, wearing my kid approved apparel. He actually got reported. His opponent said basically messaged him, said reported, you definitely hacked, it's pretty obvious, enjoy your ban. And he basically said pointed out what he used against his teams, and and then probably next week I might be updating on what happened with that. So it was fun coming at work today reading that.
Thought it was hilarious too, Toyota.
I found it hilarious. Yeah, so Merc is probably got one of the best rosters at 3.7 I've ever seen. I actually faced him way back when, earlier in the year in GA. It was not relatively close. Like he was always the low guy in our.
To be fair, you're not setting the bar particularly high when you say that he.
Yeah, like Toyota just said, Merc is the least likely guy to cheat. He's more likely to kill you with a duck than to cheat. But yeah, he was part of Gid's one of their bigger guilds, Liquid Schwartz, for a while. I don't know exactly how, but because of that, he has a very focused roster. He being one of the smaller accounts, he always did, I think, always had the best raid scores, so that helped him a lot, and he's a real good guy. So it was funny to read that that someone reported him for cheating. I was like, you must be on some good stuff.
How many stars did you get in TB?
I think we got 26, and we were really close, by like a couple million, of getting that 27th. Very, very close to it. So if my guild, pretty much all we need is like 2 more Zeta Dooku's to finish the Dooku Asajj see I'm in phase 2 and we'll get that 3rd star. So we're right on the precipice.
Lady Pool, how many stars did your guild get? Previous guild.
I honestly don't know because I forgot to check that before.
I believe BF got
I failed on that one.
22 or 23.
All right.
So not bad.
So we got 24, and we got 24 because we had an unfortunate exodus after phase 2. I want to say
What?
we lost a couple accounts after phase 2 due to unfortunate. Well, basically just a little bit of guild drama. So we were shorthanded with some people away. Traditionally, I think we got 27, close to 28. So hopefully we can rebuild for the next TB.
That's rough. I didn't realize that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 21. So 20. The previous guild for Lady Pool was 21.
You missed it, Tits. Where were you?
I
don't know why it flagged that.
I don't know either. What?
Does Nightbot not like the word sucks? I don't know.
That might actually be YouTube.
That also might be a thing.
Because I don't think, usually I get a notification saying Nightbot flagged that. I think that was YouTube.
So to answer the question of the guild that Lady Pool is currently in and Frugai's guild, they did Hoth, and they got 44, but they did 44 with like 42 out of 50 participants.
No, Ian, not YouTube drama. We're not you that likes to stir up the pot. Kidding.
Yep.
Totally kidding.
So they did Hoth because they wanted the get 1 for Maliks because they have a bunch of Maliks that were unlocked, and the difference between 45 stars dark side and 15 stars on GOTB is roughly equal, except one of those doesn't buy Malik.
Yeah.
All right. So going back to what size guild? What? How big is Druidia?
Druidia.
43. Sorry, Frugai. 43.
God, get your facts straight.
43 star. Sorry, I cut you off, DBK. What's the size of Druidia?
We are currently 205 million.
Okay.
Apparently we lost, which actually brings me to our next segment. We actually lost a player to basically burnout. He wasn't feeling the way CG's been doing things lately, and stepped out of my guild and decided he was going to go play with friends, and I get it, I do, but
I did that a while ago.
it's unfortunate, but yeah, like Toyota said, the burnout is real. And this is actually where Lady Pool
Ta-da!
actually has some comments about it. So
don't worry.
Yes.
So hold on. So real quick for all the nerds out there, all it takes is to say burnout, and then a woman goes, "I appeared." So try it at home. See if it works.
Oh goodness. Okay, so I actually stepped away from GID BF, which is my own best friend. Wait.
yes.
Oh God, I'm gonna get the names all confused again. But I mainly did it because I was also getting the burnout. I was not feeling the enjoyment of the game anymore. I am not as familiar with my roster as I like to be, or as I would like to be. So I took a step back, and I'm like, yeah, I need to find the enjoyment again. I need to, get better acquainted with my own roster before I completely lose my bonkers.
Yep.
It's
So
understandable.
where did you end up going?
I am, oddly enough, I still don't know the name of this guild, but I am in the same guild with Rugai.
Crimson Force Walkers, because we were stupid and let somebody else pick the name.
Okay, that's what it is.
Actually, the story is a lot simpler. So, the guys who rebooted the guild, it was a guy who went by Force Walker and a guy who went by Crimson Tiger, and they just combined their names.
How
And
original.
somebody in their infinite wisdom decided that that should be the name. I wasn't there when it was decided, but I probably would have put my foot down on a hard no. But here we are.
The past is the past.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a horrible name.
No, so a few months ago, I was feeling the burnout too. I was in a 230-ish guild. I was playing it with Dojasin in his guild, which was a bigger guild. So I ended up going to a smaller guild that was more laid back and required less preciseness. We'll say, like didn't have any mod specifications, etc. Right. So I went to a guild like that, and it ended up not working out. And then I ended up now in where I'm now in Frozen and Carbonite, because I used to play with Show, Varth, and Pizza, who are in the guild with me, and Tits. Tits is in the guild as well. Oh, I just read for guy. That is not a lie. I require you to find me screenshot evidence of me doing that. Because either I was extremely drunk. Actually, I'm gonna need evidence. And you have to prove that it wasn't satirical. So, anyways, I went to go play with friends too, right? That was an important factor when I was choosing my guilds too. Is I wanted to go play with friends, be laid back, not be required to do anything. Well, outside of like the crap everyone has to do.
Like
if you join TW, defense, offense, territory battles, do your missions, right? Outside of the stuff that everyone's required to do.
Yeah, that's why I, took a step back and switched guilds, because I needed that, little more relaxed play area, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It does in my brain. So I just needed that time to get more acquainted with my own account.
Yeah, exactly. And like on that note, like there are teams in my account that I want to learn. Well, there are teams that I don't want to learn how to use them, but I should probably learn how to use.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn how to use these teams better, get better acquainted with, the mechanics of them, and honestly, really focus more on mod work.
Yep.
I really need to, sit down and focus more on the mods, because I really do think my JKR team needs a little more speed to it. My Grievous lead definitely needs a little more health. I mean, there's a lot of things that I can do here and add to it. And I just gotta, sit down and focus on it.
And that's why we love having you, Toyota.
The other thing too is like you join an alliance where everyone is pretty helpful, even if they aren't good at like explaining things.
Dagger.
I spend very little time on that server. I spend very little time on that server outside of the like CRF Cantina.
Yeah, but I'm always in one chat room or another with you, so it ends up working out.
Yeah, I mean, like we have the we have DPK server and we have my server where DPK's getting lit up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! So that was fun. How'd that go?
That was totally fun.
It was fun.
And that's the other thing I want to work on more, is the ships. Like, I'm doing really well in my eyes, in my ship arena, fleet arena, but I want to get better acquainted with them. Like, I have so many red dots on all of my ships. Like, hey, you can upgrade this, you can do this, do that. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I don't understand all of it. And even with that little understanding, I'm still ranked 91, which I'm a little proud of myself for that. So I'm like, okay, I've been in rank 91 for 3 days now. I'm perfectly okay with this.
That's one of the benefits to Fleet is that a lot of shards just don't care. Like in my shard, I think
Yeah.
the most movement is in the top 15 to 20. And then you kind of go down to like 50, and then like I put in I think
Just kind
I
of
think me and
dies
GDK
out.
talked about this once. Yeah, I put in like a couple of like level 1, level whatever, really low level ships, just a really trash fleet. And the furthest I fell over like a 4-day weekend, because I was going out of town, I wasn't going to be doing my climb, so I just wanted to see how far I'd fall. I fell to 47 or something like that.
Oh
I
my
didn't even
goodness.
fall out of the top 50 because just no one outside of the top 45 attacks anybody.
Oh, like I finally in squad arena, I finally got myself out of the top 100s, and like, well,
Nice.
100 through 200. I finally got out of that and was into the upper 90s, and
Well, let me ask you this, and you might not
then
be
I
able to
like
answer this
dropped a lot.
question. You might not be able to answer this question until after Revan's event is over, and maybe even a couple weeks after that.
Mhm.
But what does it do for your motivation missing Darth Revan the third time? Like, and I'm not trying
It
to like
kills.
stick it to you.
Like,
I'm just like,
oh no, I get that, but it literally sucks a bit because I really did not put the focus where I needed to when I was doing all my farming to get the team ready for Darth Revan, and I, honest to God, regret that. Like, I really do. And so missing it again is like, I don't know. It's like saying you can have your favorite type of brownies and then you go into the store and they're completely out. It sucks. Like, it really
yeah,
does. And so
yeah,
when I'm in the squad arena and I'm seeing all these like Darth Revan teams come up, I'm like, well, crap. So I've been like struggling a little bit with the climb, which is fine. It's to be expected because I don't have everything up to par for all of these like Gear 13 Drevens and all this other stuff popping in here. But I'm working with it. I'm getting through it slowly, and I'm paying attention to how the team, even though I'm not personally playing it, but I pay attention to how the team works, like who attacks and then what follows with it
yeah,
from the other team. So in my own way, I'm learning it, if that makes any sense, without actually being able to play the team. And it helps a little bit, and it helps me see what I can possibly do to make my regular Dreven, I mean, not Dreven, my regular JKR team a little better, to try and go up to par with it a little bit, if possible, to beat some of the lower, modded Dreven teams. So I mean, it's a work in progress, but I'm working on it. I'm trying.
yeah. And I definitely get that there's a level of motivation there. Been been working really hard with a couple of different people to make. It started about a month ago, like needling the people who were going to be close, because you could kind of guess when Darth Revan was coming back. It's a 3-month cadence. It came back the second week of June, so probably mid-September, right? It was pretty easy to guess when it was going to come out. So about mid-August, a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I just started like poking them, like, where are you guys at? You guys gonna get him? You guys about a month away?
Yeah.
Eh?
See, my problem was that I completely forgot to farm one entire character. So that's where I foobarred. And
Yeah.
that's where, my idea of getting Dreven went completely down the drain.
Yeah.
Like in a glorified rainbow of terror.
Yeah. On the bright side, I doubt, and this is just speculation. I think, I think Darth Revan and Malik will both come back around Christmas, and hopefully Darth Revan comes back first for all those people who missed him this time.
I highly doubt that Darth Revan will come back before Malik does. Like, I
I think
really,
he.
really do.
Well, if Malik is on a 5-month, 4.5 to 5-month cadence, they would sync up again, sort of, because Darth Revan would be middle of December, and then Malik would be like
Hmm.
beginning of January.
I would hope. I would really hope, because that would give me a better chance of getting Malik. So that'd be good.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm kind of holding out. Yeah, I'm kind of holding out hope for
Am
the people who
I
didn't get
really?
him.
Yeah, I've got
What?
Sorry.
your current farms on the screen. She was able to finish Dark Basti, which is huge
Hey.
for her. Um,
Yeah, she's hot.
She's slowly plugging away at Karth and Juhani. Candace.
Oh, dude, you can do that on my account.
Dude, the freaking farms on Karth and Juhani, like the shard drop rate is ridiculously crappy. Like
Well,
I literally spent probably 200 crystals on each of them one day trying to farm better and get more shards. Yeah, that was total waste. I
They
was
claim
really
they don't.
aggravated with myself after that one.
They claim they don't, but they tune down drop rates when events are closed.
Oh, they definitely tuned down drop rates. They definitely did.
Yeah, I mean they claim they didn't. They claim that they don't, but you can definitely see the difference. And I have data from like people who collect it, showing that the drop rates
Yeah.
go down like 5 to 8%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
DPK, since
those drop rates definitely went down.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, since we fired Fruit Guy, you might have to. You can go into my account and look and see where I am with some of my stuff too. I'm pretty sure we're allies.
I believe so. Let me.
Yeah, Karth has a decent drop rate, and for anybody who now can farm him with the new fleet, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I
Right?
don't know. Karth has a crappy drop rate for me. Candaris has a great drop rate for me. But
Low Canteen ones are great.
Karth is still sucky with Juhani.
Oops. Oh, I clicked on your Zeta Fin.
Oh, yeah, not gonna be proud of that one.
Who's Zeta Finn?
After he got the
Yeah,
refund, he decided to put the Zeta back on.
Yeah, I blame Dodison for that. But no, I Zeta'd my Affinity from RSG. He has a Zeta now.
Like, now that I'm actually looking at my roster, guys,
Why haven't
should
you Gear
I
13
Gear 13
Marauder yet,
JKR?
I'm not Gear 13 anyone until the new meta shift.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I can put the final piece on him. I'm like just short on his final piece by I need like 10 more droid collars or whatever his component piece is. I need a few more of. But yeah, my current projects are. I'll kind of pull them up in game so you can look at them
DSP.
on my account. I'm gearing.
Yeah,
I'm gearing up Grievous, and I'm farming Shock T, and just working on finishing up extraneous Cantina farms like Captain Han.
Yeah,
So Range Trooper 5,
I don't know if
Grievous, Embo, and Shock T, and Captain Han are my favorites.
I'll show you my favorites again, and I'll talk about them. Yeah, DSP. I really agree that without people say they can get the Zeta Fin lead to work.
You can get it to work. You just need to have like a really bad team to. So Zeta Fin works great when it's a backwall Gear 9 team. Zeta Fin is great, right? But then again, so is Wampa, and so is like the rest of your bad roster. So is like as you scroll down, you can see if you scroll down my roster, you can see all my Gear 9s and Gear 10s. And those are also really good against backwall teams. Right? Like,
well, your current backwall opponents, because they're kind of in that limbo where you're at, and me, where since they lowered it to 3.8 to have 16 teams usable on in GAC, it kind of like, so I'm literally right at almost 4 million. And as you can see, I'd almost be ready to have my quote unquote 16 teams. Like
sorry, go ahead.
And it really sucks because for people like me and Dagger, who we've always had pretty similar GP, we got the short end of the stick, and because we were expecting to still have to place 6 teams on defense.
Well, 7.
Or
I was expecting 7 once I hit like 4 million.
Yeah, that's right.
'Cause that was the previous metric.
Yeah, 7 was it was 4 million placed 7, and then what 4.4 was 8.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. The other thing too is I was talking with a couple shard mates, and they were like, "So you're placing? What do you place for your 8 defense?" I'm like, "Well, I technically place 6 because I'm going to put 2 really bad teams behind my Darth Revan."
Right.
Right. I'm going to put 2 good teams up front, and then I'm going to put like Phoenix and like another Gear 10 team behind them, and I'm just going to put 6 teams on defense.
Oh no, I can't. Oh, wait. They don't have.
Also, worth mentioning, another cool thing that GAC did is I had to learn how to use Ewoks last GAC. Talk about trial by fire.
Yikes. Yikes.
It's like the Jedi Revan team in diaper.
So speaking of GAC, since you just brought it up, who was it? Plasma actually was asking earlier, should he use 5 tunes in GAC squads or try to go for feats?
So
that is completely up to you.
That'll be our segue into our next topic. GAC. We obviously the results are out. Oh wait, we already. No, yeah. But anyways, yeah, that's so. If you can afford and you feel comfortable taking in undersized squads, I would absolutely say do it. I very rarely use 5 a full team.
So, well, first of all, to answer your question, Toyota, the review is 1 hour long and then a 23-hour join.
Wait.
And almost every team has a 3, sometimes 4 tune core for their team. And most teams function under man. That's not true for some of the more, we'll call them the train teams, right? Like Ewoks and Troopers, they need like the full rip, right? Yeah. But there's a bunch of teams where it's just like, it's, for example, your EP team is EP Vader and whatever 3 schmucks you want to put on the team, right? Usually it ends up being your highest geared guys like Tarkin, TIE Fighter Pilot, whatever.
Right.
There a lot of teams, like it's JTR, BB-8, BB-8, and then like tank plus DPS. Some people have Holdo, some people have Finn, some people have Resistance Troopers, some people have Stick Ray, but that's a 4-person team. R2's kind of the 5th. You can use R2. You can drop like, you know what I mean? Like there's some flexibility on that team. The CLS trio, pretty much everyone knows, and the Triumvirate, those are 3-man teams. You can. So the CLS trio trades for almost every B team, and then you add C-3PO and you trade for almost every A team. Then you add Thrawn and you trade for both Revan, right? So you're trading your tunes. You're trading a tune to punch up, if that makes sense. That's basically what you're doing for most of your teams. You have your core, which the reason they are hard counters is the mechanics of your team versus their team. So, like JTR versus Bosk, the reason the team works is that you mind trick Bosk and walk over the team, and you really just need BB-8, JTR, a tank, and a DPS. So, when you know your hard counters, you should know why it's a hard counter, and that will allow you to take an undermanned squad.
Right.
And if your hard counter is under-geared, like say your JTR team is like Gear 10 and their bounty hunters are Gear... Well, maybe not Gear 10. Gear 11 and their bounty hunters are Gear 12. You can still punch up. You may need the 5th, but you can punch up. And that's kind of what you're looking at. Like, Troopers and Ewoks are those kind of teams where they punch across okay against certain teams, but they're really, really good at punching down. If your Ewoks have more gear than your opponent's team, you'll probably win. Because if they get the train going, you'll just kind of beat them.
Yeah.
Same with troopers. Troopers are really good when your opponent has 1 week tuned to kill to start your train. So it's really just knowing the mechanics of the different teams when you're going in to know if you can go in shorthanded. So, and then it all kind of goes from there. And that was just like very long-winded answer.
No, the long and the short of it is basically, as long as you know your mechanics and how the team operates, usually they operate off of 3 to 4 characters. So let's.
Yep.
I'll bring up my squads real quick to give examples. So that's a defensive
okay,
team.
never mind.
So JTR here, and this is my JTR switches depending on what it's going against. If it's going against the first order, I take in I do JTR, BB-8, R2, and I usually prefer Finn for first order, which I don't use very often. And resistance trooper works as well. You want that's what for first order, that's what I use. If it's against bounty hunters, I'll put in, depending on how fast their boss is. Like if say I'm going against like a boss that's modded like similarly to mine, where it's got 293 speed. I need BB-8 to go before boss, so I will swap in. I'll do JTR, BB-8, R2, and C-3PO, and that's all. Just so I can get BB-8 ahead of boss. Although I think now that I've actually gone through and remodded, I don't think I need BB-8. Yeah, so 268. So he doesn't need a ton of droids anymore. But it literally depends on what you're facing. So
I actually had to go back and remod my JTR to be 6 slower than my BB-8.
Yeah. That's actually, and also, so knowing not only your hard counters, but knowing the proper
I believe Lady pulled something she wanted to
turn order. That.
Yeah, it was just another question that was brought up by Zach Archer. Is clone meta the next thing to happen?
I think clones will be involved in the next meta.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll just be Rex. Right?
I mean,
If
like we touched on this last week. It's kind of up in the air right now. Because
I will say this.
They need a fifth.
I think it will be Galactic Republic.
Yeah, I honestly.
I don't know if it'll be specifically clones. So I'll just kind of leave it at that and let everyone speculate. So, yeah, and to kind of address one of the things in the chat too. Yeah, Bosk is falling out of favor on defense a lot because there's Troopers beat it, Karth beats it, First Order beats it. First Order is also losing traction on defense, right? There's a ton of teams that beat Bosk now.
Yeah.
And then there's a ton of teams, like, Bosk used to trade up a lot more. But now with more teams being added to the game, Bosk no longer really trades up consistently. It more like trades across. So if you are going to put a team on defense, you want it to trade up. One of the misconceptions that people have is that a defense needs to hold. And that's not true. Your defense just needs to trade up. Your defensive team needs to take a team better than it to beat, or it needs to take two teams, or it needs to severely cripple their banners. See Night Sisters. Night Sisters is a team that will usually punch up. It usually requires a team that is better than Night Sisters, or I shouldn't say better, a higher quality. You need a higher quality team to beat Night Sisters on defense, and Night Sisters is really good at taking away banners from your team.
Yes.
It's one of the reasons people are gravitating towards Django on defense, but again, Django loses to fast BB-8.
Right.
Right? Because, like, BB-8 goes first, and then you get then JTR gets to go second, Mind Trick Bosk, and then you're just in the same problem you're in when you're using Bosk Lead.
So,
except instead of healing, they just are faster.
right. And
So,
on top of that, so that's why I actually, I did a little bit of thinking outside the box, because I don't have the Kira Stall team. I just recently took L3 to Gear 12. As you can see, I actually put L3 on under a Django lead specifically for a Preton. So even though my Bosk is 293, which with 30 speed makes it 323, that's relatively fast.
If you pull that Dengar for Zam or Embo, that team would be pretty filthy.
And I actually plan on doing that. So here, let me pull up my bounty hunters real
Also,
quick.
to answer the question in chat real quick, Mother Talisman is garbage on defense because it lets troopers hit auto.
Yeah.
And if you're not familiar with the way the mechanics work, Mother
Talisman
Talisman reses Night Sisters, which then when they die, because they die immediately after, troopers gain protection and turn meter. And then they just continue running you over.
Yes.
Asajj on
Yes.
defense. I promise you want Asajj lead on defense.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Because the turn meter, her turn meter reduction, literally it makes or breaks the offense. Because you can't get a train started if you're constantly losing turn meter.
Talisman, I guess, is fine against like EP and some of those teams, but when Talisman is really good if you can guarantee what your opponent is going to attack it with. If your opponent has Gear 11 troopers and you have Gear 12 Night Sisters and you put in Talisman lead, you're just going to get auto. I had a Gear 9 range trooper and Gear 11. I use Stormtrooper. I don't even use like a good trooper as my fifth, but it's like Veer, Stark, Snow, range, and Stormtrooper, and you can beat decently modded, like B- mods, Night Sisters with Talisman lead. Because Talisman lead just keeps feeding you turn meter, and feeding you turn meter.
Yeah.
But if you can guarantee your opponent uses like EP against them, then absolutely you can use Talisman lead. But the problem is when you're placing a team on defense, your opponent has the choice of what team. It goes back to the Django Bosk issue with bounty hunters. Yeah, also, if Ventress is faster than your Stark, they can still win. On top of that, because Ventress will dispel your pre-taunt, and then Spirit, if Spirit gets lucky and just like tacks your Stark, you're just like out of the game.
Yeah, it's game over.
Yeah, so your troopers also need to be faster than their Asajj and their Spirit. Mostly faster than Asajj because of RNG. They don't actually have to be faster. You just have to hope they don't actually hit your Stark.
Yeah. So, yeah, my bounty hunters, as you can see, I actually recently moved Embo back into my favorites. So, 17 of 85.
Phase 2.0. Phase 2.0, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just glad I finally was able to get back to them. You know, they haven't added, like, I'm kind of glad Shock was a fleet node, because I'm almost done with B1. So I'll have him finish tomorrow, bar none. I'm at 97 of
if you guys are unfamiliar, DPK and I have a few things, and I'll try and explain some of them as we go, because we do a poor job of explaining the inside terms. So, Bays 1.0, 2.0, or whatever is referring to tunes that hop in and out of your favorites like 10 or 20 times over the course of you playing this game.
Yeah.
Another popular term that I use is giving something the Karth treatment. Now, Karth Onasi requires a super stun gun to get to gear 12, and he's just never going to get it. So I call it the Karth treatment because I'm just not doing it. Like Game Boy Advance right now is getting the Karth treatment. He's just sitting on the bench needing 2 super stun guns.
Yeah. So
the other problem, to kind of pivot to the Embo discussion, Embo is awesome and fantastic under Django.
absolutely.
However, he is such a luxury tune.
Because his usefulness pretty much ends right there.
Yeah, he's not particularly useful outside of... I mean, I shouldn't say not super useful, but he is less useful in your places.
But yeah,
So, we are kind of getting to our last couple topics.
Sidetracked. But no.
So you want to... Sorry.
There was
go ahead,
something I was
Lady.
about to bring up, and I don't remember what it was.
Well,
I'll
it
come
wasn't
back to it.
DPK. Hey-oh!
oh hey, PG-13.
That is an innuendo, sir, and they're allowed in PG movies.
Anyways,
Kids won't know what I'm talking about if I say that. You wanted to talk about scraps and scavenging.
oh yeah, because we moved up Lady Pool's segment.
Cohesive. It just kind of worked when we threw it in there, though. Yeah, Barris sucks. Don't Zeta her.
Hey, don't say that. Barris is Bay.
I stand by my statement. I think Barris is...
Oh my god, you ever say Bay again, I'm going to come upstairs and shank you on cam. I swear to
So
God.
I absolutely hate characters that are not leaders that require a Zeta or they are 100% useless. I think that that's one of the worst templates ever in this game.
Yeah,
Barris sucks. Don't
I have
farm her.
a
Don't gear her.
question.
Don't Zeta her. Yes.
Did
Relic
we ever
Stars.
go over your modding corner?
We will when Zoom works.
Yeah, so
But we fired Fruit Guy.
Valid
we
point.
fired for guy. So we were originally at this point we were gonna do mods. I'll play here. Let me play the clips real quick, because we'll talk about mods. It won't take very long, but mods. And go.
It's time for mods! Modding advice with Doja-san. Without Doja-san.
Are you playing it?
Yes. You guys can't hear it, but YouTube can. And that's from our good friend Doja-san, who just recently retired from podcasting. He has a new baby, so his time has slowly slipped away from him. This one is actually from Dagger.
Now, bigger and better. With Dagger. Mod advice is probably worse. I'm not responsible for any and all bad ideas that are given here today.
And that's from Dagger. So let's open up the mods. And that's mods. MAWDS.
Yes.
I love how he had to actually spell it out for you guys. It's kind of amusing.
Well, you have
Well,
to.
DPK assumes everyone's as dumb as he is.
Hey.
Hey, that one was really good, and you know it.
I
Way
was
to walk
literally
into
about
that
to
one.
about to ask if he was turning into the Fawns there for a second, just like going,
So-
hey.
This one I got today. I believe it was an event mod on JKR. I put it on JKR. No. Yeah, well, whatever. Rolled 16 speed, so yay. That was a good one. There was... As soon as it cooperates, we'll go back to... Where is the beautiful blue man? The Chiss. Thrawn got a huge upgrade today. Manage.
Did you gear 13 him finally?
I'm close. I got this mod today. 20 plus speed. as his square. So that was a pleasant surprise. I was happy with that.
Not to be super nitpicky, but that mod would be even sicker if that health had rolled protection.
I agree. It really
For
would
specifically Thrawn.
I would have much preferred the protection, but it is what it is. RNG gave me a 20+ speed mod, so I really can't complain that much.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't be upset about another +20 speed mod either. They're so rare now.
I got to Gear 13 a character today.
Wait, you Gear 13
beautiful.
a
Who'd you do?
character?
I Gear 13 a character, and I actually Gear 13 Grandmaster Yoda.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
He's really good. That speed boost is huge, and making him not squishy is great. Well, less squishy.
After playing with it for a little while and playing other teams that had a Gear 13 GMY, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So I did it.
Fantastic. I've done this game with Thunderwhack. It's called Waste to Zeta. Who wants to have me make DPK Waste to Zeta?
No.
Please don't, because you don't live with him, so you won't have to hear him complain about it until he gets another Zeta.
So that's precisely why I want to do it, is because I don't live with him.
Okay,
I don't
so
have
basically you want me to just drive up to Minnesota and find you and then shank you and then come back down to Florida.
I have enough fat to protect me from a shank.
We'll see about that.
So, also the third mod I got today, not as impressive, but it started as a gray, a tenacity speed cross. Hit 11 speed for me and 108 offense, and that is currently on Jedi Knight Ribbon as well. So I got 2 mods.
Raise your hand if you're surprised that defense rolled. No one's hand should be up.
Wait. Oh!
That's a nice mod, though.
It is.
Anything with like a good roll in almost anything and 10 speed is going to be usable almost, well, I don't want to say anywhere, but you will always find a use for anything plus 10 with a good, useful second.
Heinzie! What? You got timed up? What did you do this time?
Alright, you need to go ahead and like...
Hold on.
86,
I'm gonna fix this real quick.
Yeah, you need to 86.
I'm gonna have to play with Nightbot's like freaking modding settings tomorrow. Moderation, whatever the word. Jeez, I'm tired.
No, that's not why he was timed out, Toyota. He was timed out for a different reason, and I think.
Okay, I see now.
All right, there. Nightbot. Nightbot is fixed.
Yeah, if you're gonna do just a PSA, if you're gonna use a ... format in between your words, use 3. Yeah. Any more than that, they might flag you as being spammy.
That reminds me. Ian had a question earlier.
I didn't realize we were at daycare.
Ian asked if anybody had seen the Night Sister versus Malik Marauder battle going around on Discord.
No. But I'm sure Night Sisters can beat a lone Malik. There's a lot of teams that can beat a lone Malik.
No, it's Malik and Marauder.
Wait, so you're saying Malik and Marauder
was it like a full Darth Revan team?
I don't know what it is, but he just asked about it, so I was like,
Can you DM me a link, Ian? Actually, yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm curious too, and I haven't found it on my Discords yet.
All right, hold on.
Yeah,
thank you, Ian.
I don't. I know nothing of this as well.
All right, show more of your mods.
We are all Jon Snows this round, guys. Woo!
Show more of your mods. I'm watching this video.
Actually, let's. I believe I have.
Show them all.
Bunch.
Show them all 3 of your good mods.
You got the Game Boy Advance maxed out already on
Not
shards?
quite. Well, shards, yes. But no, he's. Let's go here. Game Boy Advanced is he needs.
So I will say this
yeah.
I will say this. I just watched the video. Well, I watched the beginning of the video, then the end of the video, and I will say the same thing I say to literally everyone who posts a video like that. Show me mods, or I don't believe you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, show us mods.
Ian also asked, "Why is the game depressing?"
We got to that. Or,
I already answered
yeah,
that.
we already answered
I
that.
suppose we should actually answer
Yeah.
that. No, I had a counter question. I didn't actually answer it.
No, yeah, that's true. We
the
didn't
game-
actually answer
The
it.
game is depressing because well, not all of us, but we've either put money or time in money or, money, depending on where you are in the game. But we've all put something tangible into this game, and we can't use any of the shit that we acquired. We can't play the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the game's depressing. I log in at noon to grab or at 1 p.m.
Good
for
night,
me.
Toyota.
Good night, buddy. But I log in
Good night.
at 1 p.m. I collect my midday energy, and I look around the game, and it's like, all right, bye. And then I log out, and then I do the same thing for my arena climb, and then I log out, and then I log in at midnight, and then I log out because I don't get to play the stupid game.
No problem.
That's problematic. I wouldn't have done that. That's a foobar right there.
Oh wait, no, I don't want to upgrade that mod. No, bad mod. Why didn't that show
To answer
up?
your question, Ian, that is why the game is depressing, is because you can't actually play the game.
Yeah, because they like to take our toys.
And when you do play the game, it's TB.
This is true.
I'm not going to go into a rant. I'm just saying, like, you're playing something artificially difficult.
Ow.
I'm manual Galactic War sometimes
Like I just did.
because I,
at the beginning of the
want to
stream.
play the game. Yeah, I'm just. That's so true. Now that we're
That is so true, Frugai. Oh my goodness.
if we can use
That's legit.
see, we can use Frugai to pivot into the final segment that we were going to do.
Hey, what are
Where-
you doing?
I'll just kind of start it off by where we just kind of BS a little bit, and it's like I'll start by saying, like, that's one of the reasons I've been playing Marvel Strike Force a lot more, is because if I want to log into the game, whenever I do it, I can play the stupid game. They have a blitz mode. I'm not advocating anyone play the game. I'm not saying that, like, the game's is better than Swugga or, I'm not going to sing its praises or anything. It's a fun game.
It's calling you out.
It's a fun game similar to Okay, first of all, I've tried. I sat in there for like 2 hours and nobody showed up.
I hit 10 speed. Sweet.
Okay, first of all,
We're gonna take that to 15.
see, that's
Slice.
that's why
slice,
I also
baby.
play my video games, because there's not a whole lot I can do.
Oh, I hit crit
Although
chance.
now I'm going to be
10
focusing
speed
more,
is still
now that I
not
have the
bad.
time to, I'm going to be focusing more on mods. I haven't been on my video games in a while, so mod focus.
Define a while. Hours, minutes.
Days.
Okay.
Like, days. I haven't
Well,
been in Monster Hunter World in almost a week now. I just do my daily login to get my login bonuses.
I was gonna say the last time
And
she
that's about
played. Ooh, we're already off to a good start. Sliced to or brought it up to 3 and got 5 speed already.
But I played, to try it out, I played Forza Horizon 4
As did I.
for a couple of days, and yeah, as did DPK. And other than that, I've just been trying to do mods.
I actually play a ton of Magic the Gathering. I played
We do too, actually.
hyper competitively from like 2004 to 2013, 2014, and then I calmed down a little bit. But yeah, I love Magic. It's one of the only hobbies I've had pretty much my entire life that has spanned my entire life.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
started playing.
Magic the Gathering has
Magic a
spanned
long
since
time
my
ago.
high school days. and
I believe you, tits. Slugga's gotten stale,
I
boring. I still love the game. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with the game. Do not take me. Don't. I'm not saying that. It's just there's less to do in the game. All the content they give us sim buttons for, which is great because it's so trivial you don't want to play it anyways. It's just frustrating.
It is.
for me, I'm not running out of things to do because I can definitely sit here for a while
you're running
staring
out
at
of
mods
things
and
to
going
play.
insane.
That's
Yeah.
what
But,
my issue with the game currently is. There's when
For
you play,
me,
there's nothing really to play.
I'm gonna stab you in a minute. Can I finish my statement now?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know. I'm waiting to see if I start talking and DPK cuts in again. But I almost quit Swugga, and that was because I was getting overwhelmed with the amount of things that I was required to do, and DPK getting quote unquote chatted to about it, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I literally almost quit the game because it was just too much. Because I'm not very familiar with my roster, and like I said earlier, and that's why I decided to take a step back from the guild that I was in to go to a more relaxed guild so I can get more acquainted with it.
Yeah, Frugai didn't want to lose your giggles, so he volunteered to take you into his guild.
Yeah, he even sacrificed his alt for your spot.
Well, you say sacrificed. I was happy to kick it. But, and then, what are some of the other stuff you guys do?
Well, DPK is mostly Swugga, literally. He comes home from work, his phone is already turned sideways, and he's on Swugga. So that's
Good
what
man.
he does.
He knows his priorities.
Let's not go there.
I got your back,
Okay?
DPK.
Let's not
So-
go there, because I have a sharp object in my hand, and I'm not afraid to use it.
So
Anyway,
a little.
For what
hold on.
Oh, real quick, Big Venom. I'm also
So-
re-sleeving my modern deck while we've been doing this. I've been re-sleeving. I re-sleeved 2 EDH decks, and now I'm re-sleeving my modern deck during this podcast. So I've
I
also
need
been.
to sleeve my bruiser deck.
So I've even been
Anyway, back to topic.
basically doing magic while I've been on this.
I forgot what I was talking about now. Wow.
What other games do you play?
Oh, literally, it's just been Monster Hunter World and then Forza Horizon 4. On my phone, though, I do have Pokemon Go and Harry Potter. But the Harry Potter game is starting to lose my interest. It's not as good as I was hoping it would be, so it's meh.
I'm currently also another thing I play is Parenting 2.1.
Shower giggles?
Yeah, you guys are in Parenting 1.1. You guys exited the beta program about 6 years ago.
Wait, how did we exit the beta program 6 years ago?
Yeah, for Parenting 1.1.
Oh, so are we in Parenting, like, 2.0 now?
No, I'm in Parenting 2.1. It's after you're done with the mom. Right?
Okay.
Like, Fruit Guy's in, like, Parenting 1.4, where he has teenagers. I don't know if I should have said that. Sorry, Fruit Guy. I don't know if I was supposed to. But, yeah. That's another game I've been playing is Parenting 2.1.
I have a bruiser deck, McVenom, that I play. It's a blue-black deck, and it's, oh, dear God, Fruit Guy. Oh, my God.
All right.
I'm going to ignore chat for a minute and focus on Magic the Gathering. Wow.
Take that, free guy.
And then DPK times him out. What a petty.
Oh my God,
Oh, yeah,
that's great.
Popper's awesome.
Yes, Popper is awesome. I haven't played Popper in a while, actually.
I still have Mono Blue Delver.
But I have a bruiser deck that it's a take your life, give me life deck.
Yep. Okay.
It's a
No,
discard
well,
deck,
I
and
thought
I
it was
love it.
the bruiser deck was the discard deck.
It makes you discard, but 90% of the cards in it that makes you discard also give me your life. Especially, God, I can't remember the name of it. The one that I go through your graveyard after I make you discard all your monsters and get as many life points as you have monsters.
Yeah. Yeah. So
A couple
to
hours
kind
to
of
get a good deal on Disney Plus.
yeah. So
Mer?
to kind of plug that, you have until I think it's midnight Eastern time. If Tits is still around here and can like send me the link, I can post the link in chat. There is a link for if you buy your first like year of Disney Plus up front, you save like 30%.
I thought it was someone in my guild actually
We have
was
70 days and 8 hours before it comes on.
Yeah, no. But there's like they have like a pre-order thing from like one of the cons.
Disney 23, D23.
That's what I'm trying to say. Is
23?
like they had a promotion there that's still going technically. So if you have the link, or if someone has the link, because I'm lazy and don't want to sift through my guild chat to find it. But that's basically all I'm saying. Is I am far too lazy to aid anyone in finding it. But it is out there. Maybe you can Google it.
I got it. I'm bringing it up.
Post it in chat.
That's where I'm going.
Okay. And then one of the last things I wanted to bring up is football's kicking off in less than 72 hours. The NFL is starting its season.
Yes.
So I am super pumped.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's a big. I'm happy about that as well. I'm a huge football fan. Always have been. Grew up in Wisconsin. And now that we're
So you save
talking,
$23 per year on a 3-year Disney Plus
Yeah.
subscription.
it's like
That's
150
33% off the
bucks.
standard annual price.
Yeah, it's like 150 bucks.
That. Yeah, I am unfortunately this year I'm a Ravens fan. So I am cautiously pessimistic, and my hope is they are good enough to make the playoffs, or they suck enough to get a good draft pick.
And since
I'm
since
done
we're
with this
on
8-8
football
BS.
talk- Since we're on football talk, there was a big bomb dropped on fantasy football.
Oh yeah,
last week.
screw you!
And
I drafted Andrew Luck. He retired. Giant dick.
Yeah, that was.
And this is where Lady Pool zones out because I don't know what they're talking about.
That's okay. Some guy that sounds like he's gargling rocks with a giant beard who's not attractive retired.
Yeah. Frickin' neckbeard.
Yeah, Seahawks look good. I think they just got Jadeveon Clowney. And Houston paid them to take him, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also live in Minnesota, so I follow the Vikings pretty close. I don't claim to be a diehard fan because they're like that bad girlfriend you have. They just choke.
Oops.
Yeah, I had to wait for DBK to get it. I could hear the wheels turning.
Oh, I was gonna.
But yeah, I
apparently not.
yeah, anybody with luck on their keeper team. Oh, I feel so bad for you. Yeah, I have a keeper league with my like my, I don't want to call them close friends. With my childhood friends, we still have a fantasy league that we play together. And I'm pretty okay. I actually picked up I actually have Pat Mahomes and I have Drew Brees. Skull or Seattle? Oh, or asking about the Hulu thing. Okay. Yeah, Monday Night Football is great. If they only had better, I wish they could go back to having like actually good announcers on Monday Night Football.
Oh God.
'Cause I've been thoroughly
I've-
disappointed with the coverage the last couple of years.
Yeah. Well,
Pretty much since they lost Gruden.
I was gonna say since they lost Gruden, and arguably Madden before that.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy that they moved to Sunday Night Football at least back in the day.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are not huge football fans, sorry, but this is probably going to be a consistent thing on this show. All right, so first to kind of address the Blair Walsh thing, yeah, that guy like mentally effed himself when he missed that field goal. And also, to be fair, the football was frozen when he kicked it. I mean, I'm not making excuses for him. It's just it is.
Well,
what
I mean,
is,
it was
right?
that was one of the, if I'm not mistaken, that was one of the coldest games in recorded football history, right? Like the wind chill, the wind chill was like, I think they said like -35.
Yeah, it was colder than the Ice Bowl
That's right.
on the field. I don't know if it was actually colder than the Ice Bowl, like temperature-wise.
Right.
But the wind chill was brutal because they played at the Gopher Stadium that year. I live in Minnesota, so like not everyone knows this stuff. Like one of my favorite trivia questions that actually came up is where did Brett Favre's career end?
Tits, if you scroll up in chat a little bit, Ladypool actually posted the d23.com/Disney Plus exclusive. That's the link. It should be right there in chat. Also, if you guys haven't, it would be really nice if I could get a like and subscribe while we're talking about chat. It helps us out. It'd be nice. Get a like and subscribe. Trying to keep the channel.
Yes,
going.
it is an early purchase deal that came out of D23.
Dagger, you better unclick the unlike.
That is not me this time, sir. That is not me.
So that must be Free Guy because I muted or I put him on timeout.
It's probably Fruit Guy because you put it on.
It probably is. Which.
But yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm actually really excited for Thursday because well, first of all, DPK is going to be watching the game too. It's Packers and Bears.
Yes.
And the Bears are probably one of the better young teams in the league. Yeah, the Bears.
Yeah,
the
they're
Bears.
actually like last year. They actually did really well, all things considering. They have a lot of young talent, and they really, especially at the end of the season, they really started clicking really well.
Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers is probably more motivated to actually perform this year because they fired McCarthy about 5 years late. It's amazing how many years winning a Super Bowl will buy you when you're a mediocre coach.
Yeah, and I bet so. To rant a little about McCarthy, and you know, I'm glad they finally got rid of Dom Capers as well. But McCarthy was he was way too conservative. Example being the Packer game against the Cardinals a few years back. The Packers were able to tie it up or get to within 1 point, and McCarthy decided to tie the game against a team like the Cardinals. I really disagreed because we were in their home. We were playing in Arizona, and we definitely, that I don't call. I don't usually throw a fit for people not going for the 2-point conversion, but I that was one of those times. We had all the momentum. We had bounced back from quite a deficit, and I disagreed. The very next play was a blown coverage by Clay Matthews, and Larry Fitzgerald scrambled for 75 yards, and then ended up.
That was fun.
it was fun
Larry
to
Fitzgerald
watch.
is Larry Fitzgerald is from Minnesota and was the ball boy for the Vikings. So like, we have a TV show here called Almanac, which is like a Minnesota news
Oh,
show,
really?
and his dad's still on it. So we have a very emotional tie to the Fitzgerald family up here.
Oh, nice. I actually helped coach very, very briefly Melvin Gordon and Trey Wayne. Trey Waynes.
Okay.
They grew up in my home city, Kenosha, Wisconsin. They played with my cousin in high school, and I think we called it the KYF, like Little League football. So shout out to Melvin Gordon and Trey Waynes. You guys are representing my hometown, so I got to give you guys love.
To be fair, the Packers are the only team in the league to draft a guy whose name was Clinton Dix.
Hey, and he's I actually
Which is still probably my favorite name in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. And he was from
Clinton
Alabama,
Dix.
right?
I don't remember.
I
I just
think
know
he's
that
from
he had like
Alabama.
one really good year with the Packers, and then they shipped him for a draft pick.
I don't think they shipped him.
I think it's the Redskins. To the Redskins, I think, to play alongside their other kid that was really good. And then, yeah, they had a Theismann 2.0.
No, he's no. Oh no, he's sorry. Oh no. So 2018, they let him go. He played for the Packers for I think 3 years. Went
he
to
was really
Redskins, and he's currently on the Bears. Oh.
All right.
Oh.
So I'm going to interject here.
That is interesting.
We have reached our 2-hour mark.
Bedtime.
Wait.
Yeah,
You
it's
still have
bedtime.
13 minutes and 5 seconds. But
I will count that down. Don't you think I won't?
But no, aside from the football talk, because we are kind of rambling, and I'm sure
Worth mentioning, we might be moving this to a Tuesday night because of Monday Night Football, or we'll be watching football while doing this.
which is
So
also
we'll have to figure that out going forward.
Yes, that is very
So-
true.
That's going to be interesting.
We will definitely keep you updated going forward, but it's been a blast hanging out here. I enjoy pretty much every aspect of the show except for the DPK part.
Oh,
We might have to trade him for Frugai. I kind of regret firing him.
Wah,
So
wah,
yeah,
wah.
it's been a great night. I'm actually my eyes are starting to water actually. It's been a long weekend. Tomorrow's my day off, so I'm a little bit tired. Thanks for coming out,
Lay your
guys.
foot down now.
Mike.
And I hope everyone had a
All right.
great Labor Day. For those of you in the
Yes.
U.S.
I hope everybody.
I don't
had a
know if
great-
other countries have it, but if they don't have it, I hope you had a wonderful Monday.
But
And for those of
and if
you
it's
who
not-
may be in the southernmost state of the continental U.S.,
And if
Good
you're not,
luck.
and if it's not Monday for you, I don't care. I hope you had a happy Monday.
yeah, because I think Heinz's in the Australian folk are in Tuesday today, or right now.
Yeah.
But and well, technically the UK guys are too. But yeah, thanks guys for coming out. I hope everybody had a great day. Thanks for coming out. Like I said, if you can give me a like and subscribe, please.
Or
do
hit the
so.
thumbs down button.
No, don't.
It shows.
don't hit the thumbs
It
down
still
button.
shows you were
Just hit the
listening if you hit the
thumbs up
thumbs down button.
Just hit the thumbs up button.
Remember to comment too.
Yeah, give us. A comment.
I actually read and respond to comments because I like being trolled and I like instigating other trolls on the internet.
I do.
And I collect questions. So if you have them in the future, just write them down, and I will produce them later for everybody to read or talk about.
But yeah, give us a like and subscribe.
Words.
Leave some comments. I do actually read through the comments and give comments back. if you are looking for something to listen to that covers lots of nerd things, a fellow guild alliance mate, who's also one of the guild leaders in my alliance, has a podcast. It's called the Cartel Podcast. I know Jim from that. They did a piece about remembering Robin Williams. Was actually really, really touching episode. But yeah, thanks for coming out, guys.
And one last thing for anybody who's still here or hears us at the end of the podcast when you listen to it afterwards. We're looking for feedback because we would like to make this more of a half and half show, half Swugga and half other stuff, because we have lives outside of Swugga, and you have lives outside of Swugga. So we have stuff that we want to talk about that we chat about on the VC that we'd like to maybe interact with you guys about with as well. So let us know
please
if
not
that's...
it all be about football. Just please.
Well, there are other sports.
You're gonna have the next 4 months of that, so.
Yeah, there's other sports. Don't worry. There's also like we touched on Magic the Gathering. We touched on your video games. Like we can. We want to make it
this
more about
a podcast for everyone, not just Swugga.
Yeah, it will still be heavily Swugga based though.
Yes, because that's what brought us together. Because me and Dagger were actually talking about this earlier. Swugga brought us together, but we've pretty much gained almost a lifetime friend, we're pretty sure, in each other.
We've become essentially the equivalent of lifelong friends, or at least
The
until our kids are
romance
teenagers.
is strong.
Also, there's a link to my Discord in the description. Stop by. I'm currently in the state of reforming it. I think I got it pretty much all set out. If you want to swing by, give me feedback. I wanna make this more regular, and I wanna reach.
And we're still working. And we're still working on Zoom, etc. We need to get our tech guy back.
Yeah.
I will admit, if you guys do hop over to the Discord, it may seem very quiet there, but that's because life happens.
Yeah.
But we will talk.
There's nobody there.
Well, right now it's pretty much all admin stuff. It's all admin stuff. But yeah, there's I have channels and stuff there. So swing by my Discord, guys.
And
All right, guys,
it'd be
have a
great
wonderful
to get some,
evening, morning, or afternoon.
Ideas from everybody.
Good
and
evening,
if you're listening
good morning,
to this on the
and good afternoon.
podcast, I hope you had a wonderful day.
Absolutely.
Good night.
Thanks for coming out, guys. Catch you later.